What's up, party people? Happy Monday. Welcome back to SJU. I'm Spencer J. Gilbert here with Danielle Radford and Eric Goldman. And we've got a cornucopia, a plethora of movie news. We've got some things to actually talk about. Snake Eyes came out and it bombed. So we're going to use that as an excuse to talk about which franchises deserve to have a second life, are worth trying to squeeze some blood out of that stone, and which ones we're just going to toss over our shoulder and never think about again. We also have like 7 good trailers that came out in a row, and we're gonna do a fast-paced machine gun rapid-fire reaction faces to all of them, I promise you. Then we are going to, there's other bits and pieces of news, and as always, we will respond to questions and comments from viewers like yourselves. So keep them coming in the chat. But our top story of the day, Snake Eyes. I didn't go see it. Eric, you probably did, right? Or you probably got to see it for free, so you don't even count.
Everything you just said is true.
I paid for it, so I'll take the shame there. I did pay for it to see it.
Yeah, no one shelled out for Snake Eyes. So it lost to Old at the box office. That's sad, right? When you lose to a film just called Old. You can't beat that. And this isn't the first time the G.I. Joe franchise has been rebooted, has it? Is this their second or third reboot?
Well, Retaliation was one of those soft reboots where even though it was the continuity from the first movie, they got rid of everything. They killed Channing Tatum right away and was like, bring in The Rock. So this is the hard reboot after the soft reboot that we already got.
Woof. So as the reboots get softer and softer, one has to wonder, because we're about to talk about a bunch of different franchises and decide whether they're worth, reinvesting in and or just letting them die in a game that I'm going to decide we're calling Boot It or Toot It, based on the famous song Toot It and Boot It. But these are like all Paramount franchises. How effed is this movie studio in the grand scheme of things? I
mean, Ethan Hunt, man, he's holding it together.
It's dangling by a pinky on like a helicopter rotor blade as it like crashes into the moon. Yeah, tough times for the mountaintop, or as it will soon be known, Apple's Paramount, or something similar. So let's get into the franchises, and this triumvirate of evil film executives, or I don't know. Shady investment banks or something, will decide whether to pony up the dough, whether it's worth booting it, or are we just tooting it? Are we just tooting it out the exit window? So G.I. Joe's up first. This is 2 movies in the 2000s, followed up by Snake Eyes, the softest of reboots that just came out this weekend. Keeps trying to connect Snake Eyes to the I guess it tries to connect it to like the other G.I. Joes and Cobra. Do the timelines work? Do they welcome you to a wider world of Joes, Eric?
I mean, they set up, this is the hard reboot, and it does do the like, hey, there's G.I. Joe is out there, Cobra is out there, here's a couple members of them. They're trying to set up a whole franchise that I don't think we're going to get from this movie. So.
Yeah. So I guess, Danielle, I think we're sort of recusing ourselves because we haven't seen the film. So Eric, you have the floor.
Okay.
Are we booting it or tooting it?
Unfortunately, we're booting it. I love G.I. Joe. Great, much like Joe Star, I'm all about G.I. Joe. It's great. It should make for a super fun movie, but there's been 3 chances in the past few years. None of them have worked. I think at least for a while, they need to put this on the shelf. Maybe a Paramount Plus series might be your better method in a few years to try. But on the movie front, I don't know. They have not been able to figure this one out. And as much as I love my toys, guys, I say let's leave it be for now. Toot it.
Toot it. It's
okay. You said boot it the first time. Yeah, boot it means good, right? Boot it.
Yeah, boot it is reboot it. Toot it is.
That's right. Out of here. Usually boot is bad, but here it's good. So toot it. That's what I'm saying.
You've been tooted. Sadly, I think the best way to boot it is to just find whoever did the original YouTube video G.I. Joe PSAs, and if they made a new round of those and put those on Paramount Plus, that's an automatic watch for me. Pork chop sandwiches Part 2 Origins. Okay, on to another Paramount franchise, Star Trek. They keep trying, man. Famously, Quentin Tarantino had a script that he was excited about that he wrote. The Revenant's Mark L. Smith had another one, and Noah Hawley also had a pass at a Star Trek script, but none of these have actually made it to theaters. And now one of the people involved in WandaVision, Matt Shakman, has a deal to direct, at least, the next untitled Star Trek film for Paramount and JJ. But it is the first Star Trek film to be written by, I suppose, as yet unnamed female screenwriters.
Their names are female. It's fine.
Female 1 and female, but female 2's got a good take. Well, I love female 2's
That's not
perspective.
the article's fault. That's my fault. I should have put their names in there.
Oh, they're okay. So they actually have names.
Their names are out there.
We are excited for female screenwriter. Unclear what will happen with the cast. Chris Pine, maybe not involved. We'll see. So it's definitely they also have, I assume that series is still going, right? Isn't Discovery, or is that
a bunch? I mean, the TV side, they're doing fine. They got like 20 TV shows happening. It's the movies they have not been able to figure out what they're doing with next.
So what's the way out? Are we tooting it or booting it? Danielle, what do you think?
I think we got to toot it. I think you leave it up. It's getting tooted. I think you got to leave it to because Eric's right. There's so much good that's happening on that Paramount, or happening with the TV shows, that just leave it to TV for right now. Especially, like, I don't know if I want that cast necessarily to come back, and I don't know if they necessarily want to come back either. So it just winds up being yet another hard reboot, and we just had one of those. So yeah, I'm saying toot it and leave it to the TV.
I'm somewhat torn on this because I really like the cast, and I liked or loved 2 of the 3 movies they did, but it seemed like it just never got off the ground really as a franchise. And as much as I'm be curious to see them do more, like, I'll go see this movie if it's them back. But on a business side of things, maybe it would be best to toot this sucker because they got a lot of Trek going. And yeah, I think that's fine for now. And there can be another movie at some point. Again, I think they're going to do this no matter what, and I'll go see it. But maybe if I stepped back, I'd say maybe you're best if you toot it, guys.
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to say boot it. I think it should. I think it's bootable, at least bootable with an asterisk. I do think Star Trek works at its best as a series, as a long-running series where it's the alien of the week, it's the philosophical problem of the week, it's the cup of tea of the week, or whatever is going on in that show, and then you organically build to a movie from there. Like, once Discovery's really taken off to a next level and people are really back on board, like, this is Star Trek, then take that cast and give them a movie. Or more likely, like, when you're finally going to pull the plug on these shows, because they always do. So, like, all right, you're going out with a film. And so don't completely give up on big screen Star Trek yet, but it should arise from the TV series, not the other way around. All right, so a soft boot, but 2 toots. Sorry. Now, Power Rangers. Is that Paramount too? Or is that Sony? Or?
It's now Paramount because Hasbro now owns Power Rangers, and they do all their movies with Paramount.
Sweet. Well, there you go. The 2017 reboot movie had mixed reception, although I liked it, praising its teen angst vibe. That was a good version of a teen angst vibe. Sorry for all my commentary. Well, not praising everything else. Hasbro owns the franchise and is developing a new movie with Paramount. So I guess this means they're going for a boot. Is it worth a boot, or should it be tooted, or should we continue booting the original cast? That's my vote. I like the first movie. I thought it was gearing up like, okay, and now they can be the Power Rangers. I like these kids. Let's go. But no, it's been tooted and rebooted. What do you guys think?
I say reboot it. I really like the Power Rangers. I think it's a really strong franchise for them. I liked the last one, but I kind of get why you wouldn't want to do like a soft reboot or a sequel with that, because like it didn't perform, I think, as well as they would have necessarily liked. So for that one, I say go ahead, do a hard reboot. And honestly, if it's me, I'm saying go full camp again. I'm saying like dig into the campiness, maybe even set it like back in the 90s, because 90s retro is like super in and you can get on the ground floor of that. Bring back hip hop keto. Like those are the things that I want to see. But I'm also an old, and when olds just like to see the thing we already like, but done again. But that would be my personal recommendation would be set it in the 90s, do it super campy, and I think that it would be a lot of fun. Like a couple of nods, a couple of winks, and have more fun with it.
Eric?
Yeah, it's funny. I have like weird mixed feelings on this, and that I totally enjoy Power Rangers and get their appeal, but I also think that I'm going to say a cautious boot it, because I think they need to keep in mind that they are not going to turn Power Rangers into like MCU level success. That Power Rangers is insanely popular and profitable, but there is, I think, a roof. Like, I don't think it can be like a 4-quadrant hit like so. But here's the thing about Power Rangers: you can do it low budget. In fact, you probably should. So I think if, like you were saying, Danielle, lean into that, have some fun, like winking campiness. Is probably your best approach. I think that if you're trying to make this into like a mega blockbuster, you're not gonna get that. But you can have a nice mid-level success, I think, can be found with Power Rangers.
Yeah, you're right, because the core of the franchise is all about saving money.
Yes.
I think there's no reason why you couldn't have find some old Kamen Rider style Japanese show and just buy the rights to that, and then make a funnier story around it. In fact, we should do that. Let's start a GoFundMe. Help us buy one of the old defunct Kamen Riders, and we'll make the new Power Rangers. All right, moving on. Transformers still chugging along. Tried to boot it with Bumblebee. That was a different universe, right? Well, sort of. No,
that was again the soft reboot. Yeah, that was the soft reboot.
But there's they recently announced Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Rise Beasts, and it's I guess this is another booting, or is this like a back to basics mainline Bay Transformers movie?
It's another soft boot. Yeah. They're doing this. They're playing this game because this one's set in the 90s where they're like not contradicting the other movies directly while not really being beholden to them. So they're playing with it.
All right, cool.
soft boot, guys. Soft boot.
Yeah, I say, toot this one out of live action theaters for me. Even though I really liked Bumblebee, but if they're not going to commit to that tone and that world and that direction, like, don't do this to us again, man. Like, come on, why? Just stick to animation and toys. Like your moment has passed. Go the way of Rap Rock and Mountain Dew Code Red. Although no, you can still get Mountain Dew Code Red. It just like don't keep making these early 2000s style Transformers movies. Like at least Bumblebee was a little bit different. So I say toot it unless you're gonna really change the tone of the franchise. What do you guys think?
Toot it, get rid of it. Like I co-signed with you. Bumblebee was so much fun. I wish more people would have given it a chance, but I think we are so burnt out on what they made, like 30 of these Transformers movies. Like that's definitely, we use the word franchise fatigue and I think it gets thrown around, but it was definitely franchise fatigue with this one. And I just don't see them adding, what is it, like the Beast Wars, the Beast. Yeah. I don't necessarily think that turning from a car into a beast or however that works is going to be like the secret sauce that suddenly makes this work. I don't see people going back into theaters for another Transformers movie. I just don't see it. Toot it right out the window.
I'll be contradictory and say I support the soft boot in this case. I really dug Bumblebee too, and I would have liked to see more of that. But I guess if I'm just gonna look at it through the corporate executive lens, I'm like, Jesus, those base sequels were so bad and they made so much money until the fifth one. The third and fourth one both made $1 billion and they were awful movies. So there clearly was like an appetite for Transformers there. So if this one can be good, that'd be great. So I guess I'm like, okay, clearly there's an audience there for Transformers. I do think people got exhausted. Clearly by the fifth one, they couldn't get them to still come back. But I'm curious enough to see what they do. And they're talking about, oh, this is 90s. It's set in New York. There'll be 90s hip hop. We'll see. I'm up for it. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay.
Just no more racist robots. That's all.
No more racist robots.
I'm sorry. If we're doing 90s New York hip hop for Transformers, there's a 0% chance there will not be
a good start.
Yeah. Okay. On to live action. Speaking of racism, on to the live action Airbender. So they're doing this again. This time is a Netflix series. We all remember The Last Airbender, the film. The adaptation.
Try as we might want to forget.
This was in the works for Netflix. Although it says the show's original creators left due to creative differences. I assume that means the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender bailed on this live action project. Always a good sign. So are we tooting or booting when it comes to live action film versions of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Oh, I think we gotta toot it. I just don't like. I already worry because they're doing it in Netflix and the creators already left. Unless you can get the creators back, if you can get the show's original creators and they're going to sign on and they're going to sign off on what would happen in like the movies, then yeah, go ahead and boot it. But if not, I think just leave Avatar Airbender alone for like another 10 years or something like that, and then come back and revisit it, because everything's going to get revisited in 10 years anyway. But for right now, toot it, leave it alone.
Yeah, I support the toot. This huge uphill battle here to overcome how much people hated that one live action movie. Their big thing was, but we've got the creators involved this time, and then they leave having creative difficulties, and they go back and they're saying, okay, we're just going to do new animated series for Paramount Plus set in the Airbender universe. That's what people really want.
That's what we want.
Yeah,
that's what people want.
Just
let cartoons be cartoons. It's fine.
Yeah, let it be a cartoon. We don't need another live action one.
Yeah, this gets an automatic toot toot. All right, moving on. I literally, we there's still other trailers I want to get to and things to talk about. So let's just give a one-word toot or boot to the following other franchises. No context allowed. Aliens.
Boot.
Predator.
Toot.
Boot.
James Bond.
Boot.
Boot. Yeah.
Okay. The Dark Universe.
Come on, toot.
I just want to hear you say toot at the same time. Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
God, I want to see that trailer tomorrow, right?
All right, so, you'll pass till tomorrow.
A guarded boot.
A guarded boot. All right. Fantastic Four.
Boot. We need that MCU version.
All right.
Finally.
And finally, Time Cop.
Boot!
Boot. Yes.
Thank you, Jenna James, for that suggestion. She had a bunch more, but we've got other things to talk about. Please like and subscribe if you've watched this far, because we've got more of the same. Come and hit the like, hit the bell. Segment 2. Trailer Town. Come on down to Trailer Town. We got a whole heaping bin full of trailers to show you. Pew, pew, pew. We got Chucky trailers. We got Matt Damon as a French knight. Come on. What do you want? Okay, so we'll start with Chucky. I didn't know this was happening. Chucky, the series, Sci-Fi on the Sci-Fi network. So that means this is what? PG-13 by default, right, Eric?
No, they can say the F-bomb 10 times an episode, and it's going to be super gory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. This looked like made for TV Chucky. And didn't they already reboot Chucky as a drone or something very recently?
Yeah, they basically announced like both the Chuckies at the same time, that they were gonna, and they're different people, like completely different people, because like different people have like, I guess, different kind of rights to Chucky. So yeah, there was one where Chucky was basically like doll Siri, and then there's this one.
Yeah.
Here's my try to do this. The concise version is MGM made the original movie, could only reboot the original movie, and that's what they did. But meanwhile, Universal has controlled the whole franchise, and one man, Don Mancini, has written every single movie except for that reboot, and is in charge of this TV show, which is why it's all one continuity going back to 1988. So this TV show is continuation of those 7 movies, not the reboot, and will have a bunch of connections to all those movies going back to the 1988 film.
Okay. So, well, you're clearly the Chucky expert. What did you think about this trailer?
Oh, I'm so in. Like, I am so excited because, again,
dude, you have a serious doll problem.
I do. Guys, this trailer had a moment where Chucky is wearing a Hello Kitty mask. That is a deep cut Easter egg to the Hello Kitty Chucky that exists only at Universal Studios Japan. No, I thought this looked super fun. I really like the vibe of it, but I also liked that it wasn't giving away much, because I'm pretty sure most of that is from the pilot, because everything they were talking about, the behind the scenes, all these characters from the old movies are coming back, a bunch of the actors, and they're not in that trailer. So I think they're hiding a lot from us, and I support that. So I'm all in. I love me some Chucky, and I love me that it's got a crazy Fast and the Furious type continuity that goes back to 1988. And if anyone wants me to talk to them about all things Chucky and give you the story of the movies back to 1988, I'm always up for it. So. I'm in.
Whether the camera's on him or not, he's always talking.
Yes.
It looks terrifying. That doll terrified the crap out of me when I was a kid, and it's still terrifying. And I have to say, like, the mechanics on the face look so good on that puppet. Like those, like
that was CG, wasn't it, or was that a puppet?
It's mostly mechanics. The behind the scenes, they were showing some pretty cool stuff of what they can do on set with him.
Yeah, like it looks amazing. This is going to be one where it's like I have to decide if adult Danielle is going to be able to like calm down inner child Danielle enough to be able to see it, because I still have like, I will still get a Chucky nightmare every once in a while. I think just because I was like of that age. But it looked really good. And I like kind of this take on Chucky's going to take on your bullies because Chucky just likes to kill. And now he's got like a way to do that. That's a really interesting take.
Okay. Yeah, look, I like it conceptually. I just take issue. I thought Chucky got cuter, like more little, like kind of precious in this version. I remember, maybe this is just childhood scars, but like I remember Chucky looking scarier than he did. Like he looked like more of a practical, like made out of wood, if not plaster, something like an old kind of broke down doll. And this like smooth Chucky, no smooth Chucky for me. I want to see wear and tear on my Chucky to ground it in reality.
I have some issues with smooth Chucky as a term, but
release smooth Chucky. All right, moving on to we can briefly talk about Dune. That got a new trailer. I mean, y'all know how I feel about Dune. It looks gorgeous, looks perfect. I have nothing to add except my body is ready. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it looks good. Like I have nothing else to add either. Like I think the trailer is really well cut. I'm really excited for this. I can't wait for all of the hot takes. It's going to be really an interesting movie when this comes out, because I want to see like how many people are going to go back and read the book. I want to read all of the like Easter eggs and things you didn't notice. I can't wait for someone who's not me to write that article. It's very exciting.
Has a complete Dune noob, the opposite of my Chucky knowledge. I've never read a Dune book, never seen the movie or miniseries. No, this looks really cool to me. Looks really great. I really love the visuals. Obviously, the cast is awesome. So I am intrigued, and I decided I was going back and forth. I was going to try to read the book, and then I said, no, I'm going to go in cold to this and see what it tells me about the world of Dune.
Yeah, that'll be tough because, I mean, to me, the best thing about Dune is like the world building, and it looks like they've clearly nailed that, but you know, a movie is more than world building. It's got to hook you and kind of propel you through the story and not just like be a really good looking wiki page, which is certainly has its place in the world. Happy Fandom Day. But I hope the script is up to the task of entering you into that world without completely boring you with huge info dumps. Because there's a lot of info to dump on you in Dune. A lot of proper nouns to get used to. All right, moving on to, let's do the Last Duel. Yeah. Hell yeah. historical fiction. Matt Damon's got a mullet. Adam Driver's got a goatee. I don't know. I'm just describing their hairstyle.
Yeah, well, yeah, Affleck's got that bleach blonde hair that a lot of people said looks like he's like fronting a band in 2000 or something.
Yeah.
Ooh, and
hell yeah. I assume those are historically accurate. Otherwise, my God, why? But I think Adam Driver was like born to play a rascally French knight, to the point where I wonder if he is a time-traveling rascally French knight. I mean, look at him. That guy's on a tapestry somewhere. I don't know why, because I know this is based on a story in France, why everyone does an English accent. I guess because it sounds silly if they all did like Pierre Escargot.
I think years ago we decided that like the English accent can just sub for anything, because they did the same thing in Valkyrie. Which they shall be German. It's like, okay, this is how
Rome. Every prestige thing. It's like history is roughly British. Our memory goes back.
For Americans, we're like, that's different. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess this looked awesome. It's a movie trailer that made me want to go read the book, much like Dune. This made me want to go read the historical book. I don't think it's fiction, but who knows these days.
Based off the idea, I think, of the last sanctioned duel history. So there is some history to it, yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want to go learn more about that, because this got me pretty hyped. What do you guys think?
The visuals on this are gorgeous. Like this looks absolutely beautiful. It's shot beautifully. This feels like one of those ones where I definitely want to go see it like on a big screen because of all of the detail that's put into it. So yeah, this definitely got me hyped to go to a movie theater, which I'm just happy to be able to do that anyway. But this is one that I want to go see so I can see all of the, look at that. That's beautiful. Like I want to see all of the beautiful detail that they put into it.
Yeah, it looks really cool. And I really, look, Ridley Scott, whatever your secret is, kudos to you, because you're 83 and you pump out movies. They're not all great, but a lot of them still are. They all look great. He's got House of Gucci opening like weeks apart from this, I think. So
I can't wait for House of Gucci. It's so stupid. I can't wait.
That dude does not know how to let up, but he keeps doing quality stuff. There's going to be a little bit of getting past, Matt and Ben. in the period garb, I think. But I think we'll all power through. And it is intriguing that they wrote this, right? Like the first script together since Good Will Hunting. So that's kind of exciting.
Along with sorry to do this again, female screenwriter whose name I did not
Nicole Hofstadter. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying her name right.
But it was interesting that they're switching, like she's writing the female perspective of the film and they're writing the dude's perspective of the film. And like I'm fascinated to see how this all comes together. So yeah, this is definitely on a must watch.
And then Adam Driver just improvised everything.
And Adam Driver just showed up. He just stepped out of a time tunnel.
No one right for Adam. Adam's gonna do his own thing.
All right, final trailer. Let's just do this one because I was surprisingly very into Army of Thieves, the sequel to the Army of Dead of the Dead prequel. Yes, excuse me. So they went straight to universe. That never works, but maybe it did this time because this could just be a good piece of trailer editing. Because they just did the Baby Driver thing where it's all synced up to the music with gun cocks and lock clicking sounds and stuff like that. And the movie probably won't be like that, but I'm sure it'll be stylish. And I like to, Dieter had a character. That's something. So I'd follow him around for a heist film, and Zack Snyder didn't write the screenplay, so I'm saying there's a chance. People, what do you guys think?
Yeah, Dieter was probably like one of my favorite parts. I think it was Dieter and Tig were like two of my favorite parts of Army of the Dead. So I'm the same way as you. Like it might just be like trailer editing magic, but it really caught me and it looks really, really cool and very stylish. So yeah, I'm genuinely excited for this movie.
I enjoyed Army of the Dead. I think this prequel is weird conceptually, just to be like, let's take this character, and it's not a zombie movie. I know that they're going to have those news reports, but he's not going to be dealing with zombies in this movie. It's just kind of a little bit of the backdrop, like over in Vegas, crazy situation. I'll never have to deal with that. So it's weird a little bit, but it did look like a fun trailer, and I did like the character. So yeah, I'm in for seeing a spinning vault as they try to open it.
He does it all by ear. He's so talented, that Dieter.
Yes.
I think they're gonna end up revealing that he built those unexplained robot zombies that are in Army of the Dead, and you'll go, oh, that's why there's robot zombies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. All right. You know what? There's a lot more news, but I think we should save that for another day because this has been super fun. And I want to talk to the fans. What have you guys been talking about while we've been blathering on? You guys have been putting stuff in the chat. Let's react to that. Levetto asks, has anyone had the chance to watch Superman and Lois? It's so superior to the rest of the Arrowverse. Really enjoying it. Yeah.
Superman. He is Tyler. I can't pronounce his last name. I'm a bad person. He is my Superman right now. Like he's been doing a great job ever since he came on to Supergirl. I've been really enjoying it. I'm not caught up with Superman and Lois. I didn't think I'd be into it because they've got like almost damn near grown kids. And I was like, oh, I don't want to see that. But it's also, we've already seen those other versions of Superman and Lois. Yeah, it's a really good, if you're into the Arrowverse stuff, and even if you've gotten burnt out of it, which I have, because I was super into the Arrowverse, Superman and Lois is definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I'll echo all that. I'm way behind. I only saw like the first 3 and then fell behind, not because I didn't like it. I really did enjoy it, just too much stuff. So it's on my list for a binge catch up. But yeah, he's great. Like I think he already obviously showed that on Supergirl. He is just as a classic style Superman that we've kind of been lacking for a long time. Really embodies that. I really like the vibe of it. I'm same with you, Danielle. I was so all in on Arrowverse and was watching all those shows at one point, and then I kind of dwindled away, except for Legends of Tomorrow. This is the first one, though, and yeah, which is great on its own. And this one I really like, and I know some people have been complaining that like they haven't done like any crossovers or anything, but I for now that's fine. I think it has its own vibe. It's doing its own thing. It looks a little more sort of cinematic. Yeah, I really been digging Superman and Lois. Well, awesome. Again, I dug what I saw. Got to catch up.
Well, you sold me. All right, great. Master Bobby writes, quick random question. Hopefully we can help. The MCU et al. Films that have a 45-day theatrical window, will they then be free on Disney Plus or Premiere Access? Like an MCU movie like, say, Shang-Chi, is that going to be out? Do we know the window's 45 days, then it's free on Disney Plus, or then it's $30 on Disney Plus?
I'm 90% sure it's 45 days and then it's part of Disney Plus package. It won't then be Premiere Access.
All right, sweet.
It'll be there, yeah.
All right. Jim One asks, very important question. With Pig receiving very strong reviews, got to see Pig. And there's building hype for the unbearable weight of massive talent. Has the Nicolas Cage-assance begun? Has it ever ended? I would ask you, I feel like we've been in the Cage-a-sance for really like since Face Off at least. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and I haven't seen Pig yet. Pig is on my list. I was supposed to go see it last weekend, but I wound up getting busy. That made it sound like I was doing sexy things.
I was like, that would have been busy. Yeah.
It's a good reason to skip the movie.
It's a good reason to skip the movie. But from what I understand, it's a lot more of that like super actory Cage and not so much of that like crazy, he's going to go Cage out on you.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's why I want to go watch it. So I'm excited. But yeah, I don't think that Nicolas Cage ever went away, nor do I think he will ever go away.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much agree with that. I mean, the thing about Nicolas Cage is, first of all, Pig is great. He's wonderful in it. And it is great how he completely sort of underplays. There's one tiny moment where he goes big Cage, but it's just a little.
That's in his contract.
Yeah, it's in his contract, but it's not. Yeah, in no way is it what you're kind of expecting. But Big Cage is still super fun. And I think, I mean, I might have said this before in SJU. I can't remember. It's like what I like about Nicolas Cage these days, in the past decade, I should say, we all knew that he had some money issues and he was saying yes to a lot of these little low budget movies, but he also always went for it. And every like 1 out of 4 or 5 was a good movie. But he was always interesting in them. And then you'd have a Mandy, you'd have these like standout ones. So I think that people are just kind of appreciate, and I keep comparing it to Bruce Willis because I just read a review of a new Bruce Willis movie that again talked about this is a guy who's never trying anymore. He's doing all these low budget movies and it's just paycheck. I will sit on your set for a day or two to shoot reactions, but I will not give you anything. Nicolas Cage is always giving you something, damn it.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that about him. And then you see something like a Mandy or certainly Pig, where it's like, oh, Pig, he probably will get an Oscar nomination for. He's always been a good actor. And I really appreciate it.
Okay, there you go. Well, our final question of the day. This is a fun one from the Reynard City Update channel. What would be the worst film you could be forced to watch repeatedly for 24 hours?
Ooh.
Oh.
Maybe it's recency bias, but I'm going to say Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. Your clue for tomorrow's Honest trailer. The 2 hours of that would probably turn me into a Looney Tune. So I'm going to pick that, probably the last movie I saw, unfortunately. What about you guys?
Oh, this is a weird pick, but I think just because it's like, it's a good movie, but there's like so much music and I think it would wind up getting irritating. Valley of the Dolls, I think would be one where if I watched it over and over again, after a while, it would make my brain seep out of my head.
Yep.
Part of me wants to say like Transformers 4 or 5, like one of those really bad, deep in the Transformers bait ones. Yeah. I will go though, and again, it's because it's a recent one. Thinking about everything I watched recently, and the one that was the hardest for me was Speed 2. I was talking about this with Danielle before we started recording, which I did plug for my podcast. We enjoy podcasts, but Speed 2 was one of those things where I was like, I haven't watched this in forever. Maybe I'll revisit it and it won't be as bad as I remember. No, it's freaking terrible. It just ruins everything that you like.
The leeches.
And it goes on forever and it takes forever even to like for the setup. And then there's a movie called Speed with no speed in it. So Speed 2 is in my mind recent film that would be torture to have to watch for 24 hours.
But UB40.
The UB40 is in the film. We don't know if they live or die. It's never made clear.
Justice for UB40. And that's our show. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for Honest Trailer Commentaries. And again on Wednesday for more SJU. Whether there's news or not, we'll be right there. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye.